Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. I'm Kel.
And this is Misfit.
And we're here with our Saturday preview for Week 3 of Stage 4 of the Overwatch League. And if you're here for the first time, don't forget to give us a subscribe. If you really like what you're hearing, give us a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We really would appreciate it, and we appreciate anybody that does tune in. We're just here giving a good perspective from the fans for the Overwatch League. So, yeah, let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it. Well, we'll get into the matches in a little bit. So let's talk about some news. So the All-Star ballot came out. It's looking pretty good, although a couple of things I had with the All-Star ballot. They have some of the guys that they aren't still playing, like Effect and you know, Tizzy and stuff like that. I don't know if that's just if it's your favorite player and you vote for him, but what if one of those guys happen to get on the All-Star team? That's going to be weird. I don't know. It looks pretty good. I like the way they have the ballots set up. We'll do a whole show where we get into, some, maybe in the next couple weeks where we get into who we're going to pick for the All-Star game. But, there's a lot of obvious choices.
Oh yeah, for sure. All of NYXL.
Yeah. I mean, you can literally go down that whole team and go, all right,
any of their starting roster, I can't say no to.
Yeah.
But
the Pacific Division is the more interesting one where you can really get into some different things, especially like in the supports, because there's like 3 or 4 good teams with different support combos that are really good. You don't have that. Most people are going to pick Jonak and Arc.
Right.
I mean, you can maybe make a case for
like Badosin,
or if you're a Boston fan, Calix on Mercy on the main healer. Other than that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, really, it is the Pacific where you got some really solid supports. I mean, you're going to have like Big Goose and Shaz. You've got Moth and Sleepy. You've got
Custa and
Kareev. Yeah, it's crazy.
There's a lot of good stuff going on. I mean, Custa's, and then like DPS in the Pacific, forget it, man. That's like you get to be sitting there looking at that thing for like an hour.
Right.
Because honestly, in the Atlantic side, you got, it's the same scenario. You can do CBOB and Libero. Then you got Prophet and Birdring.
Mm-hmm. It's insane. Well, one guy I think that could make it as a reserve is Boombox from Philly.
Yeah. Well,
in the Atlantic. Yeah. Going back to the supports. And then actually probably some other guys from the Fusion too. You got Carpe. DPS, you got Carpe, you got EQO. Like, those guys have been playing phenomenally all season.
Carpe's probably on everybody's radar.
Yeah.
I mean,
how could he not be?
Yeah.
Dude is a monster.
Yeah. Although, in a little hindsight, they have not been looking good.
No, they've been very shaky in this stage.
Yeah. Moving on to some other stuff, like a little bit of recap of Friday. The first 2 matches were better than advertised.
Than expected.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, even though Shanghai lost 3-0,
they looked really good.
They looked really good, and Dia especially was an absolute monster in this game.
He was an animal. I mean,
I've not seen a performance like that
in a long
time, maybe ever. Like, pretty much since like stage 1 when he and Undead were just going off on teams.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much by themselves. Like, Dia was just right there.
Yeah, and I think they said on the broadcast, it would be nice if, when Dia goes off like this and, a couple other people pick up their game a little bit.
Right.
They could pull a win out.
And they really had a shot at evening it up.
Yeah, they did.
With Li Jiang. If they could, like, they had 99% to 0 on Gardens, I think it was, and that was the last map of that map, or that was like the last stage of the map, or whatever you call it.
Yeah. Phase?
And they were, phase, I guess.
Whatever.
Sure. But yeah, like, they had it 99% to 0, and freaking, they just let them take it back, and then they just kept trading back and forth. They'd almost get it, and then they just couldn't quite finish it off. And it's just like, that's just been the whole issue that this team has had constantly. That being said, Houston did a phenomenal job of keeping it alive and like staying on the point. I was amazed at how well they were able to do that.
And they were pretty impressive in a couple of phases in that, and then in the match in general. But it's hard to say because they were playing Shanghai.
Right.
But, I mean, Dia was playing like a god yesterday, so, I mean, you can't really fault Houston too much. I mean, they did win 3-0, but they still, for a playoff team, that is a concerning performance. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be in the playoffs and you're struggling there, even though the score was indicative of that. And speaking of that, Seoul in Florida, same thing there. Seoul on the control maps or the King of the Hill maps, they win the 5th map because Florida's pretty much terrible at them right now. The Florida looked decent enough in the beginning. Seoul looked mediocre though. I mean,
right. That's the most concerning part, is that this should have been a game that Seoul won handily. Like, they should have been picking up maps in this, and instead they are in a dead tie with the Gladiators right now.
Yeah, and
maps, record, everything. I think Seoul has the head-to-head against them.
Yeah, and then Philadelphia's tied with all of them in maps, but they're 1 loss behind.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got the Gladiators, the Dynasty, and Philadelphia pretty much identical, and Houston's pretty close in there, too. Houston's one...
No, yeah, Philly's a little bit behind them. They have the same record, but they're 5 maps behind. It's Boston has the same record, but they have 1 more win. Yeah,
I mean, there are 4 teams with plus 16 in map differential right now. So, in an odd scenario where Boston's falling, though, that's the thing.
Right. Boston is falling. I mean, Houston's pretty much out of it because they're still, like, even with their map differential, they're still 2 games behind because they're 19 and 16. Philly and LA and Seoul are all 21 and 15. I mean, Houston has 1 game to play today, but they're playing...
they're playing Florida today.
Yeah.
Maybe Florida shows up for this one, but the thing is they also have lost to the Gladiators, and I believe, did they lose to Seoul, or did they beat Seoul?
I think they lost to Seoul. I know the Gladiators have the head-to-head matchup on them.
Yeah, and it's pretty much, I think it's going to kind of stay this way. I think Boston's going to keep dropping because they look terrible again. Moving on to the last match of the night. And San Francisco has looked fantastic.
Yeah.
And Sinatra is...
Wow. That was an incredible performance from Sinatra.
Yeah, Sinatra and Dia were, like, insane yesterday. Yeah. Fucking just going off. And then him on the Brigida he's amazing on that, too.
Yeah, I mean, he's fantastic on that. I mean, he pulled out the Tracer again yesterday and was going off. Like, he is an incredible player.
Yeah, he is. And him and Architect are sick.
Yeah. That duo is just... It's gross. I don't know what the hell you do against that. And that's saying a lot because they have a player like Dante, they have a player like Baby Bay, and those guys are just regulated to the bench because the other two are just playing that well.
Except for some on Control, they've been playing, or on King of the Hill, they've been playing Baby Bay and Architect.
Right.
Where Architect's running the Farah and Baby Bay's playing like McCree and maybe Tracer.
Yeah.
Or Widow if necessary.
Yeah, I think he's going Widow.
Widow McCree. But he's been running, like when they run Oasis, he's been running McCree in there.
Yeah.
And that's been just sick.
Yeah.
Because you have those 2 guys just dropping fucking hell on everybody.
It's insane.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into today's matches. So we have, starting off, we're going to have London and Dallas, which is going to be the match of the day for us. Yeah. The other matches are kind of, you could consider the Excelsior and the Valiant a big match, but...
But at the same point, I think it's just going to be New York once again coming out and being like, prove you can beat us.
Yeah. Just mashing people.
Yep.
And they're not, they're almost like in playoff mode now. They're not showing you anything different than what they've shown you. Maybe that's their strategy.
Right.
We're just going to do what we do. Yeah, that one, we'll talk about that one in a little bit. And then we'll talk about Florida and Houston a little bit. So let's talk about London, Dallas first.
Yeah.
Dallas, now they started off good.
They started off really, really well, and then San Francisco exposed them.
Yeah, and San Francisco is playing at a different level than everybody, but Dallas was playing really well too.
Yeah.
And now London, this is a big test for London to see where they're at. Normally, we hadn't been saying that about Dallas, but Dallas is playing really well, and they play the meta really well.
And that's the big key here is London really needs this win, and they need to prove that they are back to playing at the elite level that they were in the first stage and most of the second. If they want it, because if they can't beat Dallas, then there's no way in hell they're going to be able to beat New York.
Yeah,
and that's really all we're looking for, because London is really the only team that I can see actually putting up a fight against New York and making the finals and the playoffs interesting instead of New York just steamrolling everybody.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I kind of thought the Gladiators about a week ago.
Yeah.
But after watching them in some high-pressure situations, they kind of scared me. Mm-hmm. They'll probably get into... They'll win a playoff game, I think, depending on what the matchup is. But
I think so, too.
London is good. We're going to see what they can do, too, in this, because they have been switching around on the meta. They've had Prophet on Brigida, which is another sick Brigida player.
Right.
I love this guy anyway, but like I told everybody that was my in your sights for yesterday's match, and he was like apologizing about not playing well, and he's like top 5 in like every freaking hero that he plays. Come on, dude. You don't have to, and he does it with that smug face too, man.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry I didn't kill everyone. I killed almost everyone. Sorry.
My performance wasn't up to what I wanted it to be, where I just dominate and kill everybody at all the time.
Yeah, and we're going to see what Dallas can do, too. See if they're actually back or not. Mm-hmm. The matchup that's going to be big in this is, I think, the tanks, to see if Seagull can hold up against Gesture and Fury.
Yeah.
Since London's been running that, just straight Gesture and Fury, they've been 10 times better than they were when they were switching him and Wu Yao out and all that kind of weird whatever they were doing there. And we'll see what Seagull can do too. Or OGE I meant.
Yeah, that really is the big key. I think it's going to come down to that, because Gesture is, he's probably number 1, or he's top 3.
Yeah,
easily in
top 3 main tank
in the league as a main tank, and OGE has the potential to be that. So, like, that'll be a really interesting matchup. And then, yeah, like you said, Seagull is going to be a huge influence on this game. And with the flexibility and just the way that he's been playing, he really gives them a shot. And it still amazes me that it took anybody this long to realize all the things that this guy can do.
We were saying that back in stage 2. We were saying, gee, this team looks good with one thing, when you put Seagull in. Mm-hmm. And that was when they had Mickey in all the time, and they were at the effect, and they were putting AKM in on Genji and all that nightmarish stuff that they were doing. Since they finally decided to put him in there all the time and play AKM situationally, have Taimu, be in there all the time, and then run Mickey on Brigida, or flip into the off tank and flip Seagull into a projectile DPS role. It's been a miracle has happened.
Right.
But it was a miracle that we kind of thought should have happened about 2 stages ago. But anyway, enough of us patting ourselves on the back. So who do you got on in our sights for this game?
So I'm going to actually go a little weird. I'm going to go Bedosin for London. I really think that he's going to be a big influence in this game, because I do think even still that is one of Dallas's biggest weaknesses, and I feel like he's going to absolutely exploit that, because Harry Hook and Unko, they're decent players, but they are not to the same level that London's supports are, and I really think that Bedosin is just going to go off, and he's going to have an incredible game. And then who do you have for London?
I was actually thinking along the same lines of that with Bedosin. I was gonna watch both their supports just to see.
Yeah.
But Bedosin is definitely, I would definitely put him on that list for me to be paying attention to, just to see, like you said, and I think he can expose some of the meta, they're working with the meta with the way he discords and the way he plays Zenyatta.
Yes.
I think that's going to be hard for Dallas to deal with. someone who plays Badosin at that, or plays Zenyatta at that level, plays Zenyatta at that level, you know, he's going to have that Discord on Mickey all the time.
Yes.
And that seems to be working. And, you know, they run Tracer, and you got a Discord on Brigitte, you can get rid of her. Mm-hmm. Faster than she can stun you. So, I mean, that could be a thing. So, who are you looking at on Dallas?
I really feel like the big X factor for this team is Seagull.
Yeah.
I mean, he really is. If he's not having a good game, then they're really done. But even when he does have a really incredible game, they can still lose. So I really think that he is the kind of their leader now.
Yeah.
Of like bringing that positivity, high level play.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm going to go with Taimu. I just want to see, because when he is hot on Widowmaker, they do not lose.
Yeah.
And just keep an eye on him, because if he gets into Blizzard World and he's clicking heads like he has been, London's in for a big battle.
Yeah, they're in for a really hard fought game.
Possibly a nightmare of a game. If
Taimu is going off, that is a really good point. I think that I totally agree with that.
And so we're both going to take London in this.
Yeah.
So we'll give you the picks for the other two matches here. We'll talk about them for a second. They're big games, but they're not. Let's talk New York and the Valiant.
Right, like this is a big game just to see where the Valiant are.
Yeah, exactly. To see where they're at after they got absolutely curb stomped in the playoffs by New York.
Right.
To see where they can go. I mean, I'm going with New York.
Same. I have to. I can't not pick New York. Like LA is good. They've been playing really well, but they are just not at the same level that New York is. And New York, I feel like, is just going to come out and be like, prove it.
Yeah, they're like on this mission to just destroy everybody.
They really are.
I mean, when they could have just kind of kicked back and just kind of worked on some things and checked out where the meta was, they're like, fuck this, we're going to kill everybody.
Yeah.
We want another, we want to add more to our bank account.
Oh no, they don't fuck around with feel it out games.
No, their feeling it out is winning map 1.
Right.
That's how they feel it out.
Yeah.
Oh, they've already taken the first point. Okay, I guess, yeah, we're not feeling this out. They're feeling it out. It's like taking Doomfist and fucking ramming it right up somebody's ass.
Right. It's absurd.
That's how they feel it out.
Right. It's ridiculous. Like, this team, I just don't even know how anybody can beat them. Really, the only team that I can is London, like we've said, and like London's they've got to get their heads out of their asses.
Yeah,
they're getting there, but
they got to do it faster.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see what the Valiant can do in this though a little bit. I want to see take a map against them. Show up. Don't get absolutely destroyed like you did the last time you played them.
Yeah.
In our sights for this one, on the Valiant, I'm going to go with Custa. I've been all about the supports lately. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I want to see, because the way since he's been on this team, they've been playing consistently good.
Yes.
A couple of maps and stuff here and there, they were kind of off, but, I think it's the way he shot calls and just the way he's approaching the games, that it's making a big difference for them. So I'm going to go with him. So who you got on the Valiant?
For the Valiant, I'm actually going to switch it up and go to the tanks. I really think that Fate and Space are going to be the really big factors in this game because they are the best, like some of the best players on this team, and they really open it up. And then just that matchup against Meko and Mono, and then Janus when he comes in for the maps that he plays. Yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do to try to mitigate their effectiveness. Yeah,
and those two guys are really good at doing that.
Right.
And they're a great tank duo.
Yeah.
And man, the Pacific Division's got a lot of good, them and Gladiators and
right.
And now honestly you can go San Francisco.
Yeah.
That is going to be a big matchup in that whole scenario because you're going to see Jonas on Blizzard World first because he's their hybrid guy. Which I find odd.
Yeah, it really is odd. I mean, it's effective.
It works,
but it's just real weird.
I mean, maybe he just likes playing hybrid maps and he's really fucking good at them.
Right.
I don't know. It's the weirdest switch out of anything that they do. Like just you probably see him in Pine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then, so yeah, that kind of switches over to New York. Who do you got in your sights on that?
I'm going to watch Sabiobi. I want to see, because he's been running Widow, Tracer, and the Brigida.
Yeah.
All at a really high level. His Widowmaker, I mean, we could talk about Pine, but his Widowmaker is consistently good.
Yes.
It's not flashy, like Saya or
but
Architect,
he just
but
shuts down an area.
Yeah.
Like, if you better not show your head. If your head pops up anywhere in the area that he's looking, say goodbye. You are gone. Yeah, it's not big flashy plays where he's like going up super high, getting a pick on the way down type of thing. No, he's more just, I'm going to stay in this area.
Yeah.
I'm going to scan
Deny it.
And just complete area denial. And
yeah, he's not like doing like super triple kill flick shots like some of these other guys do, like Pine or like Saya Player or Architect. But he's just so consistently good on it. And then you put him on Brigida, and he's another insane player on Brigida. And everyone, we went into this thinking, they're going to run the off tank on it. They're going to be one of the supports. No, these guys are running their best fucking
DPS player on her.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Well, there's mechanical skill involved in it, and they play Roadhog, which I know it doesn't sound. Some of the kit is slightly similar to what you can do with Roadhog, with the flail and all that stuff, the whip shot. And these guys are fucking deadly with that. Oh, yeah. Man. So, who do you got for New York?
So, for New York, I'm going to be looking at two players specifically. Throughout the whole game, it's going to be Jonak. Because I really feel like he's just going to have a game. I don't know why in particular I'm feeling it, but like I just feel like he's going to have a really insane game.
One of those.
Yeah, just one of those where you're just like, how the fuck did he do that? And plus, it's gonna be like that, and he's just gonna pick on the LA supports. And that's nothing against Custa or Karib. I just think that he's just gonna be all over them.
Yeah.
And then also whoever they have running Brigida on LA, I feel like he's going to target the shit out of her and just melt. And then the other person I'm going to be watching, even though he's probably not going to play the whole game, is going to be Pine.
Because
it's always fun to watch Pine. Yeah. And then also, I really think that there's going to be some points where he's going to be out there and it'll be like him and Saviobi or him and Libero, and he's just going to, he's going to alter the game in some way that's incredibly significant.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He usually does.
Especially, for some reason, I'm thinking, LA is going to pick up one of the early maps, possibly Horizon or Oasis, and then it's going to come down to Gibraltar, and that's going to be the map where we just see all these guys on New York just really
close it out.
Yeah, exactly. That's where we're going to see Jonak go off. That's where we're going to see Pine just go absolutely nuts. I don't know why. I just have this feeling that that's what's going to happen. And it's going to be like, oh boy, it's 2-1. Is LA going to be able to come back and tie it up?
And it's going to be one of those, oh my god, Pine has just killed 3.
Right.
Let's watch that on the replay. All right, last match of the day we'll talk about for a minute. Florida and Houston. Houston has to win.
Yes, Houston absolutely has to win. If they lose this game, even if they drop too many maps, they could be completely out.
And they look shaky against Shanghai. Yeah. I mean, Dia went off, but it's kind of like it's almost like you kind of let Dia go off.
Right, and that should be a good sign for Florida.
Yeah,
if they can get Saya Playa.
Yeah, and they're
to play like that and playing and Logix. I mean, it could get real ugly for Houston.
Yeah, I think they need to run that a little bit more.
Yeah,
the Saya Player and Logix. And they played okay yesterday, but it wasn't anything to write home about. They fell apart in the end, which is normal. They blew points where they shouldn't have. It's just the same old thing with them. I mean, you get some amazing plays from this team for a team that's this bad.
Right.
They do highlight reel plays, and you're like, how the fuck didn't they win the map?
It's like the Jaguars from 4 or 5 years ago actually even longer than that. When they had Maurice Jones-Drew, he would just go off for these crazy touchdowns, and you're just like, how the fuck? and then you see the score and you're like, they lost by 20?
Really?
When that guy did that?
He had 120 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, and one of them was a 60-yard ran through everybody thing.
Yeah, that's kind of or 3 years ago or a couple of years ago in Cleveland when Josh Gordon had just his absurdity, and we'd still lose by 15.
Yeah, and the only reason why he didn't lose by 21 was because he caught a 70-yard what the fuck bomb.
Yeah,
the
one accurate throw that Brandon Whedon never threw in his life.
Joy, Brandon Whedon, scary thoughts there.
God.
Florida reminds me of that team, kind of.
Yeah, right?
Seriously, and I don't like saying that.
I know.
But speaking of all right, to the match though, Houston, they need to shore things up here.
Yes.
I'm obviously taking Houston.
Same.
They need a 3-1 on this minimum.
Right. And
just to get some more maps back, because someone's got to get ahead in this map differential thing where they're all tied at 16.
Right.
And they're now games behind. So they have to win, and they have to win convincingly every time they do. So if someone does fall or slip up, they can move up.
Right.
And move ahead of everyone.
Right. Because right now they're a game and a half behind, and it could be 2.
Yeah.
If they lose. And it would be, then they could put themselves in a better position. If they 4-0, they could be in much better position for if any of Seoul, LA, or the Gladiators or Philly kind of fall off or falter, then they can really move up.
Yeah. All right. So, in our sights for this one, where are you going with Houston?
With Houston, I'm going to go with Jake. Because if they can't find a way for Jake to be effective, then Houston's done.
Yep, I was going to go with the same. I'm going with the same thing. Jake needs to be effective on all the heroes that he's playing. At the beginning of the stage, he kind of looked good on everything, and then he's been kind of a little bit off. Same thing with Linkser, but Jake is the key.
He really is.
And it's not necessarily on the Junkrat; it's on the other stuff. On the other, when he plays Tracer, and when he plays, if he plays Brigitte or if he plays whoever he's playing.
If he can't play effectively on any of the characters that he plays, other than Junkrat, then this team is sunk.
Yeah, they are. So for Florida, yesterday I had Maniton, which he had a good game. I wanted people to watch to see how this guy's buried in a bad team.
Right.
He's one of the best off tanks in the league. So that was what we did yesterday. But today I'm going Saya player. I want to see if they run him more, and he's just fun to watch.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
And even his Tracer's good. That would be a key to watch when he's off of Widow and see how he does on the other heroes, too.
Mm-hmm. With that being said, I think I want to be watching Logix for the same reason, and I really want them to play those two together. Even though they have similar hero pool, I really think that they can be incredibly effective together.
Yeah, I do too, because Tavik has been off.
Yeah.
This whole stage, he has not been the normal, consistently good DPS player.
Right.
With occasions of greatness. Occasionally he, goes over the top. Mm-hmm. He's just been off this one. And, Logix is also a good one. I want to see how much they run Logix too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They need to run him more.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see more Logix. I want to see more Saya play, and I want to see more of those two playing together.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's pretty much my feeling on that too. There's really nowhere for them to go. They might as well show off their best players and start doing stuff like that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And maybe take one away from Houston, which I don't think is going to happen. But why not?
Hey, take a couple maps from them at least.
Yeah. All right. So. That's going to wrap it up, guys, for today. Don't forget to hit a like, hit a subscribe, and we will be hitting you up, of course, in the beginning of the week with some reviews and stuff like that. Don't forget to follow us on social media, and as always, thank you for watching and checking out our videos, keeping the conversation going and all that stuff. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Have a good day.
See you guys later.